We're going live. It's Wednesday night. It's 8:30. It's the Loftus Party Live. What's in store? Your comments are in store. All the news is in store. We're talking about stand-up. It's the sky's the limit, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm in one of those kind of moods. I'm in one of those kind of moods. So we will give people a moment to populate the comments. Maybe I'll regale you with a fine tune. Sweeping the floors, open up the door, yeah, turn on the light, getting ready for tonight. Nobody's romantic cause it's too early for dancing, but here come the music. First from Texas. Hello. I have to take off the glasses. Fun show on Gutfeld last night. Hey, Susie D. Hey, Charlie. Everybody's coming in. Hey, Cat's on YouTube. Cat has a YouTube channel. Cat, our cat Timph, or does what's her cat's name? Cheens or something? Mr. Cheens. Maybe he's got a YouTube channel. Hello from Dublin, Ohio, Nikki. Hello from Dublin, Ohio. Nikki, have you ever come out to any of the shows in Ohio? I've done a couple of big shows in Ohio for the GOP, for the fundraisers for the GOP. And boy, the GOP is going to get an earful tonight. They are going to get an earful tonight. Hello from Marshfield, Massachusetts. Greetings from Ohio. Lots of Ohio people. And hey, from the UK, Barbara Bradshaw. Barbara Bradshaw. Hey, from the UK. What is it? Boom, boom, boom. Barbara Bradshaw in the UK. That was horrible. Okay. Welcome aboard, everybody. Before I forget, because I always forget, thanks for sharing the content. We need more people sharing the content, and this goes to the whole GOP part of it all. We need insane numbers. We need insane numbers. I was on the plane today. I got something in my eye. I apologize. I was on the plane today, and I got a text from my buddy Cat Turd on Twitter, on X. Hey to everybody on X who's watching live. Thanks for sharing. And he was the guy, my buddy Cat. Great account, wonderful account, awesome dude. And I'm proud to call the guy friend. But he was busting my chops. He sent me the talking babies thing from Gutfeld last night. He was just dying laughing. But thank you, Cat Turd, for doing that. It was funny. It was fun. I was a horrible baby. You know who? Somebody on X said that I looked like Larry Bud Melman from the old Letterman show, and that was spot on. That was spot on. That's what I love about the comment section. The comment section with the great observations. But I digress. My buddy Cat Turd is really dialed into this stuff, and I'm hoping. And I asked him in the tweet, like, who's keeping the list of all the dudes on the GOP that we're gonna primary? Okay, because here's what I saw an interview with Elon Musk the other day, talking about Doge and how he's stepping. Doge is going to keep going, but Elon's stepping back, and he's like, I'm not going to spend any more political capital. And people were speculating on what that means. And here's what I think it means. And it's the 500-pound gorilla in the room. The GOP is not doing diddly squat. We're all looking at these other stories. I know I do it too. You get like, oh, that funny thing just happened. Let's joke about that. Oh, James Comey just did. Let's joke about that. I want these GOP people to be terrified of the base being unhappy with them. It's ridiculous. We can't just go back. Oh, I don't want to get preachy. I don't want to get preachy. And I got something in my eye still. It's killing me. I want all of these. Doge has to mean something. When they started this, they're like, Elon Musk was like, I bet I could cut $2 trillion. I bet I could cut $2 trillion. And I bet he could. Why isn't this happening? Why isn't it happening? You know, you've got these NGOs and the USAID and all of these others. Okay, so I can hold off on people not going to jail. I'm cool with that. But for the love of God, we've got to stop this crazy government spending. And this one big beautiful bill is one big beautiful ball of BS. I'm gonna. My senators and my congressmen are pretty solid. Where you from, Suze? Where you from? It's so incredibly frustrating to me that nothing's really happening with the FBI. Like it's just like situation normal. We're moving on. We can't, as a people, as a nation. Listen, other countries, they're dropping like flies. They're not doing so hot. They're gonna, if you wait too long, you never get it back. And we got really, really, really lucky that we had the 1-2 punch. Number one, the Donald totally nutted up when he's like, yeah, I'm gonna run again. They can't push me around. That's great. That's great. And he suffered the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. And the Donald came through. And then you got Elon, who buys Twitter and turns it into X, and freedom of speech. Okay. And we're keeping things on the up and up. And then you get Kash Patel and Dan Bot. Like, we need to follow through. We have the House, we have the Senate, we have majorities, we have the White House. Holy shit. You'd think at the very least, they'd go, all right, well, you have to use paper ballots, no more voting machines, and you have to show an ID to vote. Boom. End of story. Like, how hard is that? And then that leads you to this. Here's my thought process in this whole thing. So somebody with the Doge thing, yeah, people on the GOP side, they're getting rich too. We need to find out who they are so we can primary them and end their little turn at the frickin' pig trough. And so there must be people on the GOP side that are cool with like elections being like suspect and stuff. We need to find out who those people are and get them out. We all have other shit we want to do. Like, I never wanted to be like, oh, political commentator. He's a comedian, talks about politics. Listen, I had a pretty cool thing, you know, in Hollywood, writing TV shows, the whole thing, occasional. That was lovely. Then you realize how jacked up things have become. And you're like, I'm a fraud and I'm a charlatan if I don't stand up and say something. And that's just hopefully where people land. And the idea of a bunch of people in America just with all this momentum getting up, and we are voting, and we're going to get Donald in there, and we're going to, yes, and I want Doge, do it, raw. It was a huge election. And these absolute panty waist chicken, I can't stand them. Because then if they don't take this opportunity, then it's just going to disenfranchise the whole next generation. And everybody's like, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm pissed, man. I'm pissed. Driving into New York last night, they got a car, and I'm talking to the driver. They're still doing that crap in New York, that congestion pricing. Like, oh, if you have a car and you drive into the wrong part of Manhattan, you owe us money. You owe us money because there's too many cars here. Who in the hell do these people think they are? How who do you think you are to tell me when and where I can go in the city that I'm paying for? And I guess they're still doing it. It's outrageous. Okay, I'm going to go whoopsie poopsie bit was hilarious. We're going to go to the comments right now to calm me down. I'm all jacked up on this stuff's outrageous. The Dr. Pepper freaking cream soda mix. Holy crap. Whoopsie poopsie. Last night I go, it's always fun when Greg like really just starts laughing. Like he's really that one tickled his funny bone, which was all great. We can't be like the UK and waste a conservative victory in government, says JP. Yes, JP. Yes. And these sons of bitches, these dirty ass, I'm the Lindsey Grahams. I'm so angry. I'm Lindsey Graham. I could spit. These Democrats and their big spending bills. And I think we should give Ukraine a few $1 billion. I think we should. You know what? We don't have a budget, y'all. We don't have a budget. So we should do a big omnibus bill. And then they do all their spending in these big, the left does it, the right does it, and I'm tired of it. Loftus got an endorsement contract with Dr. Pepper. I wish I had an endorsement deal with Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper's outrageously delicious. When's the last time you had? I don't have one, by the way. But I'm telling you, for the people down in Texas, and you know this to be the gospel truth, you go to some little barbecue shack place, and I'm not talking like high end. I'm talking some little mom and pop barbecue shack. You go to Texas, you get some barbecue from a little shack, and they got the Dr. Pepper and the Diet Dr. Pepper on the little fountain thing, the fountain one. Oh, that hits good. That's a tasty and delicious beverage. Okay. I'm a travel gal. Eat and now drink healthy. Good for you, Janet, for eating and drinking healthy. Hello, E. So that's all I want to do. I just want to have a loud enough voice so that when somebody like Lindsey Graham, they pull some crap and they try to do the old budgetary switcheroo. I think the budget in this one big beautiful bill is even bigger. Like they're spending more money. Oh, I find it incredibly frustrating. Republicans in office need to step it up. What's their problem? Yes, what's their problem? Unless they just want to continue down the same path. Unless they just want to keep going, oh, if you could only just reelect me and send me back to DC, then I'll make change. Oh, we waited too long and we lost in the midterms. And now here, oh, if you could just send me back for, and then it's like this freaking cycle. In the meantime, our lives get worse. We're the people that are getting hit. We're the people who are paying the crazy congestion pricing tax. And our property taxes are going through the roof, and our income taxes. And every time you buy something, there's another tax everywhere. It's all 100%. And then the roads are crap. The roads are crap. The cops don't show up. The freaking the fire department can't show up. Your neighborhood burns down, and you're just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I love sugar-free strawberry Dr. Pepper. What are you talking about, sunshine? You vixen. I've never even heard of sugar-free strawberry Dr. Pepper. Holy crap. That sounds pornographic. That sounds, I need that. I need that in my life. Okay. I'm sick of all of them. Who just said that? I'm sick of all of them. I've been pleasantly surprised by Rubio, I got to say. Rubio has been, like when you're watching a sitcom and they have the special guest star, and then the special guest star just comes on and rocks it, and you're like, that dude should be on every episode. That's Marco Rubio. Listen, Marco Rubio, he's always had that. It's like watching Superman in Smallville go to the big city. Like Marco always had this ability, but now he's got the Donald as an example. And Marco's like, hold on. You mean to tell me I can just talk and do stuff and the voters will like it? Yes. Yes. Marco has been great. He has been fantastic. If you get a student visa and you come here, and you start talking some craziness, we're gonna kick you out. We want people who love America. Marco has been a dream. Term limits would be helpful. I used to be, I'm a romantic, and I think my whole thing with term limits used to be, but I'm turning. I'm changing my views. My whole thing with term limits is like, yeah, but what if you have some like crazy genius, some really, really wise, wonderful person, and you want them to stay in there, but now you can't because of term limits. I used to be an anti-term limits guy, just in case you had the one genius. But now, after Debbie Dingle, I thought about doing because Debbie Dingle fell asleep the other day. Debbie Dingle, which we got off on a Debbie Dingle thing, I believe last week. There's been 92 years of a Dingle in that seat. 92 years. Once upon a time, old man Dingle had that seat, and he had it for decades. And then when he died and they peeled his corpse out of the seat, his son was like, I want to be the next Dingle. That Dingle got elected. So then he had it for a couple of decades. And then when that Dingle died and he got peeled out of the seat, Debbie, the widow, took it over. When you add it all up, it's been 92 years of a Dingle in that congressional seat. Debbie Dingleberry, that's what I say too. Debbie, I don't like, you're worthless. They're all worthless. These are not good people. Obviously, look, they can't be, we can't trust them with our tax dollars. Maybe we should do like a class action lawsuit. That would be fun. Could we sue them? And be like, I'm suing you because you've stolen my money. You steal my money every time I get paid. And then you waste it. You cannot be trusted with my checkbook. If this was your cousin, if you told your cousin, hey, I'm going out of town, but here's my checkbook, and you can pay all the bills, and here's a little bit of money for your trouble for paying all the bills. I'll be back in 2 months. And you come back in 2 months, and all of a sudden your cousin is like throwing a house party with a bunch of illegal immigrants, helping out the neighbors, throwing money out the window, and your house is a wreck, and you don't have any money left, and he's opened up a bunch of new credit cards, and he's eaten all your, you'd be like, dude, get out, you suck. That's how I feel about Congress. That's how I feel about Congress. Okay. It's going so fast. Did you guys, hopefully you signed up for the Blastorama. I'm going to do another one. I'll do it in Vegas. I'm in Vegas Monday through next Sunday. Monday through Sunday. And I've got some shows coming up. I want to say St. Louis, and I know there's another city. It's going to be a little like 2 weekend runs, but that'll be part of the Blastorama. There'll be a new poll in the Blastorama, all that good stuff. Virginia Congressman Jerry Connolly passed away. We got to talk about Joe. We got to talk about Joe. 'Cause I'm a creep. He's a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. But I'm gonna run again. Everything Dr. Drew Pinsky, he had an interesting post because he's a physician and he's also had prostate cancer. And everybody's saying this story just doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up. So there's two ways to go here. There's two ways to go. One, when this is the unnice way to go. Does Joe really have prostate cancer? Because like that's one. That's one. That he's just lying. Oh, I have prostate cancer and it's in my bones. Feel bad for me. Don't talk about the Her report. That's a legitimate question, I feel. And because the other way takes you to a very dark place. Takes you to a very dark place where Joe knew he had cancer. His doctors knew he had cancer. And that guy's like, I'm going to run again. So if he ran again and he won, then he could just go, oh, I got this medical thing going on. I got to tap out. Here's Kamal Lala Ding Dong. There's your new president, ladies and gentlemen. She's going to carry the torch. I kind of think that might have been the plan. Sue says, I'm not volunteering to check. We got into this on the podcast. If you want to hear a bunch of prostate check jokes, listen to this week's podcast. It's delightful. And listen, I'm not anti-prostate check. I can assure you. Jake Anarino says, help Loftus out and smash that like button, folks. Anarino, I owe you $5 for that. Thank you so much. I think Joe has it. They knew it and has nothing to do with his dementia. Yeah. I think it was part of a bigger plan to spring it on the American people after Joe. That's what makes me so mad about this GOP thing. Like the left was throwing people in jail. They were coming after the Donald hard. Steve Bannon went to jail. A bunch of other people went to jail. They ruined Rudy Giuliani's life. They were trying to throw him in jail. They were going hog wild. And now the GOP, it's so frustrating to have them to go back to like, oh, I guess we're going back to normal now. You know what we should do? We should take our time and do one big, beautiful bill, and we'll wait. We'll wait until like the middle of July, and then some senator is going to dig in on principle and derail the whole thing. Then we're going to have to compromise, and then the middle class and the working people are really going to get screwed again. The country is on the brink. It's not over. It's not over. We have, as of 2018, in 2018, Yale said we had at least 22 million illegals. They said it might be as high as 29 million. That was 2018. So in 2018, we'll say, just for the sake of discussion, we'll say it was 20 million. 20 million illegals in 2018. And then you got Joe Biden, who kicked the door open, and they're saying like another 20 million came through. That's a lot of people. And then you've got Doge going, hey, they got a bunch of these guys have Social Security. A bunch of these people are getting, they funnel the money through the NGOs and then they give it to, no. I have an appetite for destruction. We've not reached anywhere near the levels of absolute destruction that I want. I want so much more. That's horribly funny. Primary Don Bacon. I don't even know where Don Bacon's from, but I'm ready. let's talk about Diddy. Diddy didn't kill him. Oh, I was talking a little bit about the Diddy trial. I don't want to know these girls' names. They had some woman on the stand, and she was talking about the. I don't need. I think the victims we can go in. We can go anonymous with that. I saw. Oh, I heard some audio. I heard some audio that supposedly was Diddy and LeBron. I don't need that in the noggin. I don't need it in the noggin. Has anyone heard the her recordings, the classified documents, Joe? But yeah, I heard a snippet of that the other day, and there's a big reason why the Democrats didn't want that to come out. Here's the thing, and don't forget this: it's so easy to like start to have a bunch of sympathy for Joe. Joe knew what he signed up for. Joe is a professional politician. He's been doing this since 1970 something. That dude is just, he's an empty vessel, and he's been in an empty vessel his entire career. He got rich and he enriched himself and his family with our money, and then taken bribes from other countries. That dude, he is the poster boy for what you do not want anywhere near a position of power. Her to her. Somebody's on a roll. That's a good one. All right. Roseanne Barr's podcasts have been going down some deep rabbit holes lately. Beware of that. Beware of that. Just in your own personal, this would be my, because I have to be, you can't, if you're still trying to figure out and then this guy did this and that and this and who's behind and this and the global power and this and that, if you're hyper focused on that, you're not going to solve the problem at hand. There is time. There's time to go down these crazy, he made him, and then right here, right now, while we have the majority, they need to fix the way we vote. That's something every American agrees on. We've secured the border. Tom Holman is an angel. Tom Holman is a ginormous angel, and I want to give him a hug. We've secured the border. That's fantastic. We need to deport people faster. We need to secure the way we vote. That's the most important thing. Then after that, you make sure we're not throwing this money away down to, organizations like, these non-governmental, these NGOs and these USAIDs and this and that and the other thing, and you spend less. I want the GOP in there just cutting like a freaking Englishman going through the jungles of India. I say, what's that program? I don't know, but I want to bag a tiger. Chop it down. I tell you what, Devin, keep chopping. It's like my granddaddy told me back in 1705. Just chop the crap out of it. And Tom Holman is a freaking rock star. He is. That guy's fantastic. Tom Holman, and talk about a dude who has not changed his tune. Tom Holman is the same guy today as he was back in 2016. He's just a freaking awesome rock star. Any update on the summer 25 shirts? I think Baby Loftus should. We've finalized the logo, and I'm telling you, my wiener moved. I'm pretty happy. So now it's just like the font and the phrasing, but I hope, fingers crossed, I hope to have those available next week. I was going to surprise you, but I like them a lot. Boomer BS. I'm here. Okay. So Vegas next week. And I know I saw a couple of comments. People are like, I'll see you in Vegas. Make sure you say hello. I'll come out front. after the show. I want to meet people. I want to say hi. I want to get pictures, all that other stuff. And that goes for all the shows that we do. Make sure you're signed up for the Blaster-Rama. I'll pump one out next week from Vegas. I'll write that poolside. Yes, about NGOs. How can they be non-governmental agencies when they get most of their money from the government? Yes, that's one of those little turns of phrase that the big brain people like to do. They're like, oh, I started an NGO. I'm going to feed the kittens. I just need money from the government so I can feed the kittens. And then the government hands you $1 billion. And so you pretend to feed one kitten. Meanwhile, you go on vacations, you hire a marketing team who's your cousin, and you spend all the money on yourself. And then when somebody like Elon Musk comes along and says, hey, we got to cut this waste, like, but don't you care about the kittens? I don't care about you, you lying piece of crap. And I don't care what you call your agency. I really don't. Cut them all. And there's going to be some Lindsey Graham fella. I think the people of South Carolina and that revenue that we get, F you, buddy. Start over. Tough titty. Bob says we need stickers of that cat. More merch. My God, you guys have more merch ideas than I do. I love it. I want it on a hat. Okay. I'm going to rescue Robin, I will help you rescue orphans in Haiti. We'll start our own. NGO. I'm going to Haiti. I want to rescue orphans. Give me $1 billion. I'm sure I could save one. I'm so tired of all this bullshit. I need it all to end. I'm asking GOP. Don't try to be my friend. I need you to go in there with a machete. Don't try to be a nice guy. Just get rid of all this crap. Michael, you do a decent Southern accent. Thank you, Lane Wood. I do a variety of Southern accents. I do my whoopsie poopsie. And listen, and I'll do a Southern Ohio. There's a Southern Ohio accent. That's your shit kicker right there. And then I also do my Lindsey Graham. He's Lindsey Graham. And I'll do declare, I also do a foghorn leghorn style. The long-winded politician from the days of yore, from 1930s radio. It's been the same story in this country since they started the government. It's been the same story. But what used to happen is people used to get tarred and feathered, and we might have to bring that back. Create an NGO to study beer drinkers of Long Island and pay people to drink beer. I will sign up. I will be the vice president in charge of the treasury of that one. We should fill out the paperwork immediately. I will sit on the board. I will be the Hunter Biden for your board on that. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people watching. How about James Carville? James Carville. Here he goes. My mama was a vampire. My daddy was a werewolf. And I'm sick and tired. I tell you, don't use these big words. They talk about oligarchy. No one knows what an oligarchy is. I'm half weasel. I got weasel DNA through. I can unhinge my jaw like a snake. Oh, I'm swallowing eggs, not even chewing. Boston accent. What? Play some Pat Metheny. Oh, wouldn't that be something? Here's I'll buy the tar and feather. Let's start the politician tar and feather NGO. Let's do that. Let's get the government to pay us billions of dollars so we can drive around DC with a vat of tar and a whole bunch of feathers. Crazy Cajun. You guys are like hitting me up like a jukebox right now, and it makes me feel good when I'm making you happy. Oh, that Cajun accent, I guarantee we're going to put some jambalaya on there, put a little hot sauce, dip our testicales in there, make a whoo-wee, they're going to be good, and then I'm saltine. Play some Todd Rundgren. Here's a Todd Rundgren story. Oh, I have 2 stories. We're going a little long. Frankly, I don't care. Norm from Cheers. I didn't get a chance to post it yesterday. I posted it tonight. I got back to the Loftus Party World Headquarters, and we have some fantastic people who are contributors to the website, theloftusparty.com. If you would like to do that as well and be a part of our community, hit me up. My email is theboss@theloftusparty.com. When are you coming to Lizard Lick, North Carolina? I will be there in the morning, darling. So anyway, Norm from Cheers passed away. Now I was lucky enough. I worked with 2 guys who were previously writers on Cheers, and both of them. And this is like when you hear like, oh, everybody loved George Wendt. Like that's one of those shows when you're writing on a TV show and you're talking to these writers who worked on other shows, it always seems like Shangri-La, right? But these guys who worked on Cheers, they just had an absolute blast. And like Cliff was great, and George Wendt was great. Norm, like it's just one of those wonderful sitcoms, and everyone truly. My one friend, he worked. They had a whole like little. You had a group of writers, and they would take a few of the writers and they'd peel them off. You guys just write Norm jokes. That's all you do is just write Norm jokes. And so they'd be in there all day. Like Norm walks in, like Norm, and then Norm says whatever. And as rumor has it, my buddy wrote that. It's a dog eat dog world, and I'm wearing Milkbone underwear. Classic. Isn't that fantastic? I love it when there's like still good people in the world, and they're not crazy, and they just have a good time, and they get together and they entertain people. That's all we want. I think everybody works hard. Everybody wants everybody to be treated equally under the law. Get out of my pocketbook, you crazy government people. Just let me live my life. Is that where Lizard Lick Towing was? You guys are having it's nice to know. Seems like they had fun. They did. Here's another one, just real quick. I wrote. I was friends with Sam Simon, and Sam Simon also worked on Cheers, and Sam worked on Taxi, and he worked on Cheers, and a bunch of other shows, The Simpsons too. And we were writing on this show together, and I don't want to say the show, and I'm not going to say, but one of the people who hadn't contributed a lot to that particular episode was like, maybe we should move these characters. They've been talking in the living room for a long time. Maybe we should move them into the kitchen, and like thinking somehow that would be an improvement on the script. It's like, dude, they're still gonna have to talk. You can move them. You can say they move from the living room to the kitchen. You can type that, but now they still gotta say some shit when they're in the kitchen. And so Sam and I are like, we'll just keep. And then this guy's like, I just don't know. It just seems like they've been in the living room the whole time. And then Sam, who's from Cheers, he's like, I don't know. It doesn't seem that long to me. I know shows where they stay in one location for the entire show. And if you look at Cheers, they barely left that bar. You know why? They had things to say. All right. Where's Hunter? Hiding in Newsom's closet? Maybe working as Jennifer's pool boy? Yes, where is Hunter? They're saying that Hunter was like running the government practically. It's friggin', it's all, we could go on all night. Sounds like Seinfeld. Seinfeld's another one of those shows where I just think that was an absolute blast. I think that was an absolute blast. And I'm completely jealous of everybody who got a chance to write on that show, everybody who was in an episode of that show. That one just looks like, and that holds up, man. That's a funny one. That's a funny one. Sam Simon, a great writer. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I laughed so hard I cried my eye sockets out with that Cesar Milan bit you did on last night's game. Oh my God. I thought that was hilarious too. I don't know. And then I was worried. I'm like, is Cesar Milan not a thing anymore? The dog whisperer? Calm, submissive state. Calm, submissive state. I'm so glad you thought that was funny because that was killing me. I think Greg was a little bit taken aback. But yeah, that was funny. That was the one where Whatch's dude wouldn't let go of Macron's finger. Maybe I'll post that one. George's Barstool should be at the Smithsonian. Yes. He and Cliff both. I bet Taxi was good fun too. Here's a taxi story. I could just tell show business stories. So I was hanging out with Sam, and Sam was a writer on Taxi. And he was telling me, like, when you're done with a script and you submit it to the network, and then you have the actors come in and they all read it out loud, that's the table read, you time that out, and you're like, ooh, we're like 10 minutes long, or we're 5 minutes long. So you have to make some cuts. You have to cut some jokes. You have to tighten things up to make sure it fits in that little window that the network's going to give you to put the show on. So you pretty much figure out like how long, after doing it for a few years, you're like, okay, so each one of our scripts is roughly about, 44 pages, 42 pages, but that's a sitcom script. Sam was telling me that when they added the character of Okie Doke, what was that guy's name? What does a yellow light? Reverend Jim was so funny, and the audience was laughing so hard that the final version of the script, what would make it to air, when they're like, it would be like 22 pages, like these crazy short. He was just that funny. What does a yellow? And that was another one. That was another show. They barely left that one location. Okay, we're gonna go out. This is one that I'm working on. I heard that the writers on the Roseanne show thought that it was a meat grinder. Any stories about that? I do have stories about that. None of which I will tell here. This is a song about back rubs. Baby, 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 sit down. You look so tired. Baby, 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 you work so hard. Baby, baby, let me give you a back rub. Get that tension out from your neck and your shoulders too. Baby, baby, this back rub would be so much better if you took off those pants. I'll take off mine too. But it's just a back rub. Normally when I give a back rub, I sit with my wiener by your booty. For the back rub, for the back rub, for the back rub. Oh, yeah. Hey, I just had an idea. Maybe we could take a break from the back rub. I think you know what's going to happen there. All right, we've gone incredibly long. This is not going to be normal. We're not going to keep doing this. We're not going to keep doing this. This is me being silly. You could hear Tina Turner or Aretha doing that song too. Yeah. Oh. That'd be good. All right, just a little bit. It'd be a duet. It'd be a duet because I'm like, baby, 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 baby. How about a back rub? And then Tina Turner comes in. We're not doing that bullshit ever again. I'm telling you, this time I won't try to bang you. That's what you said last time, and my booty butt still hurts. All right. Oh, come on, let's keep doing this. I am a nut. Hopefully I am a nut. Hopefully I stay a nut for a good long time. God willing, and the creek don't rise. I'm trying to get better with the guitar. We got some more songs they're going to be doing soon. And make sure you subscribe to the Blastorama. You go to loftusparty.com. You read all the great articles, all the great stuff from the great contributors there. And holy smoke. More new video comes out on Friday. There's new content every day at the website. Make sure you share this. Invite your friends to come join and be a part. When things go sideways, we go into action. We can have a really good time. We can make a lot of good changes. And I knew I was forgetting something. More new content is up at Studio TST. More new content, more stand-up specials they're going to be added. I think if they're not up now, they'll be up tomorrow at studiotst.com. Home of that show tonight, which is, filmed at the America First Warehouse and at the Redneck Riviera. And it's part of our taking over Hollywood movement. And I love you more, Elaine Wood. You're all fantastic. Countdown to Slut Month. Slut Month is July. I'm going to have some more information on that. There's going to be festivities. We're going to do all kinds of... You're the best. Whoever brought up Slut Month is just freaking... You're fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to go. I have to practice still tonight. I have to do that every evening, or I go right into self-loathing. You're fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing and sharing and your comments. It really makes everything so much fun. And if we're not having fun, what are we doing? What are we doing? All right, so we'll take a break from the fun. Every once in a while to tar and feather a politician. But beyond that, it's all fun. I'll see you later. Why are those pants still on? Good Lord, you're going to get a back rub.